Hello people, it's me, Libluini, with a new episode of my little let's play here. And we now have early summer of the year 9 of the Ascension Wars. And again, tons of shit has happened. Most of this is just my monthly Courseman production, but we have cast Black Death on Ulm and Leprosy, basically neutralizing that army there and reducing the population there. And now Gav has sent out the people from the woods with this global. Kind of annoying, but I guess he had the gem, so he went for it. Zetica is now ours again, and let's go look at Voka. Oh, nothing? They're just killed over dead in Griffin Spires. All 3 vampires dead? Well, it's still enemy dominions over there survived and are now back in his capital, at least far away from me. And now Gav is killing me. 32 units dead and one of my priests dead. With allies like that. Well, let's take a look at what happened in Vulcan. Yeah, I keep forgetting. His super golem got hurt by a stray soldier of mine, and this means instead of teleporting again, Bogaro's player had to cast the return spell again, so the next time he uses his golem, he can save his golem again, instead of him accidentally getting killed somewhere. So this means I had basically a free turn, thanks to the sacrifice of my army, and in this free turn I could gain both fortresses. Mostly empty fortresses, but I take it. And yes, all dead. The fortress is mine, and that's 3 vampires. I didn't even take losses. I guess they weren't scripted to summon undead or something. Looks they immediately fled or something. I didn't see that. Let's try again. This time let's take a look. Rooted immediately? I have no idea why, but they apparently broke immediately instead of doing anything. Haven't seen deaths in a while. Strange, but good. Then Holburg. For a moment I was wondering why Gav was attacking me, but it's apparently part of the stupid global. The only effect in this case was reducing defense to 0, since this is one of my provinces. Because there's a castle there, so his event army couldn't take it. Instead, it's still there. Stupid, since I can't replace the defenses, but well, it's not his fault, I think. Pretenders of the World, still us 4. Well, technically speaking, Pangea is now played by another player, since the old one gave up on the game, so it's like 3 and some other guy. So back to messages. Miglan, Misfortune. Okay. Summerlands, more nature games for me. And we got accidentally killed while moving thanks to this army of Gav attacking Utevania, that's here. Could be I just wanted to move one of my scouts past there. Now that's an interesting composition. Let's see what this army is made about. First, Natural Storm. Tons of vampires. Immortal regenerating buggers. Fiends of Darkness. They get stronger in the dark. storm demons. Storm demons can shit out lightning, and 10 times each. Most armies die immediately after getting hit by too many lightning strikes from so many storm demons, and even worse, they can fly in the storm. So a storm isn't stopping them. Then we have an archdevil, strong fire. This is the guy, an earth mage, and he can fly, levitate in this case, so I'm probably guessing he will cast earthquakes. And this guy, who is strong in astral and blood and can cast a lot of really dangerous shit, and he is loaded up with astral gems, so he has something to tell us, and that's not nice. Then we have the Lord of Hell, who is 5 in fire, 5 in earth, and 4 in blood. Dangerous, 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 and he has even blood vengeance, which means that if something hits him, there's a chance of getting hit back. He's also a heretic. That means wherever he moves, he will eradicate the dominion of even his own side. Extremely dangerous. And loaded up for gear with all this stuff here. I have no idea why he has a Starshine Skullscap. I think that's something like the Shroud of the Battle Saint, boosting astral, but he has no astral. Strange. And I have to look those up again, because I do not understand this. Anyway, they're still monstrously strong. Pain transfer, at least our little scouts were far too weak to make him use gems. Ouch! Yes, that's the storm demons shooting. Storm demons are impressively dangerous, so those scouts never had a chance. Just bad luck that they got discovered, I guess. Man, I'm lucky I'm not at war with Garth right now. That's a scary army. Even if it has strange outfits. Upkeep. Again, we had far too much upkeep for our world drenched in darkness, and 300 more units have deserted. Some more disease-related deaths. Suffering from battle magic, I suppose. So anyway, I've already done some movements before I started recording to prevent bloat on my videos. So to explain what happens here, now that I've taken Vulcan, the main army here will move on to get Oak Beach, and later Fungwood, because those castles could be a problem if someone dispels the Utterdark Global, because then he can raise new armies here, and even if there are not many mages except for this Lich here, there can still be a serious problem if I leave them unattended. So I think it's better to take them now, because now Utterdark prevents Spogarus from recruiting new units, and if I siege down those fortresses and eliminate those small armies here, well, technically it'll help him short term because he has less upkeep, but in the long term this will secure my flank, and I can then make a concentrated movement to this place here, the Scuttley Swamps, with its slowly dying army of mages and some cavalrymen. Some more units, especially priests, are moving up here because I don't have any point defense and I don't want to leave a fort completely empty. That's always a bad idea. Like, oh, yes, like so, for example. And I'm moving mostly priests so I can while I'm moving forward, destroy Bogar's dominion, so even if he pulls out some kind of super strike and pushes me back, he has to eradicate my dominion first. And if I can grow my own dominion fast enough, then can maybe later trap some of his vampires and destroy them for good. Anyway, here are troops and priests moving to keep all those forts occupied and to start preaching down enemy dominion, and my main army starts taking those forts and eliminating those temples, which will happen automatically afterwards. Then I have this guy here with his slaves waiting here. That's what these astral mages are there for. He has astral 4, but with those two it's astral 5. And if those two there's astral 6, it's not enough for astral 7. But I get a solid +2 on my paths, and I can risk some of my astral slaves dying without falling back below 6. And thanks to the crystal matrix, he is already automatically the communion master, which means when I script him, I don't have to waste one of my 5 slots for casting Communion Master. Instead I can cast something else to, I don't know, make him even more powerful. Anyway, I think it's time to move him closer to the front lines now. Sadly, the mage is too slow. Well, fuck. Let's move them to through the middle here. That's mostly research and occupyings. I've moved most of my units here together, so they are not as oppressingly wasted. I'm still preaching like mad to keep my dominion up here, even though I'm slowly losing ground. But I've started to move some of my priests from provinces where I still have strong dominion myself to keep my capital in White Candleland. Hopefully with those new priests it will work. Then I put a giant mass of my astral mages here and started moving them down. I did this because I want to form this little special army into a master and slave army myself. Instead of a golem I have this guy, which to be fair makes him really vulnerable. But well, let's see if I can boost him up some more on his way down. And he is level 2 naturally, level 3 thanks to the Starshine Skullscap, and level 4 thanks to the Crystal Coin. It's also walking around with this Crystal Matrix here, so same as the one in the south. He can be automatically part of a dominion. Communion. Holy shitty shit. What should I do with this guy? I'm moving in here. Now I have to be careful not to accidentally get slaughtered by my ally. Let's move some more scouts around. So, here I have this army here, protected with my Astral Mage here. And I'm moving reserve troops to him. Mostly a bunch of unscripted mages and some unscripted troops. Next turn I script them some more. Right now I don't think Bogaros will attack this army, because he's probably expecting me to attack him again, so he can drop his golem there and get everything. I think I'll just continue to sit here until I have a way to deal with that golem. In the meanwhile, I'm marching another army here and here, including more Astral Mages here, and they're all scripted, so I can hopefully clear out those vampires and boot them back to his capital. Of course, if I'm really lucky, since here is no puzzle, no enemy dominion anymore, I could end up accidentally executing them, which is also good. Afterwards, I'll move to eliminate this temple here by taking the fortress. Let's see how well this goes. And of course, here I'm still having to take a look at what Garth is doing to Pangaea. It doesn't seem that Pangaea is doing anything, so I'll have to make plans sooner or later, I think. I don't want to be at war with Pangaea and Bogarus, but hell, if Pangaea is not doing anything, let's say... let's move the scout here in. Let's say, if I see him, Garth I mean, take one, or let's say these two forts are the border. If he takes those two, and Pangaea is still not doing anything, especially with... oh, Pangaea also has a growing stash of vampires. Glad to see it. Everyone makes vampires, except me, because I'm too busy making undeads the normal, boring way. Well... anyway, if I see Pangaea not doing anything after losing 2 more forts and Garth penetrating even deeper, then I'll assume that Pangaea's player is a new player, I should say, really isn't bothering logging in anymore and doing anything reasonable. Let me take a look. Players, Pretenders of the World. Defeated, 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 defeated. That's Garth. That's Bogarus. And Pangaea. He's still in there, even though he's seemingly not doing anything. But, well, if I see Garth take any more force and nothing happens, then I will take this as a sign and unleash my underwater army here to move around and secure my southern flank. Also, I guess I should think about moving this shitty army forward here. I have no idea what I should do against all those vampires here, but that's something for the future, I guess. One thing is at least nice. For some reason... ah yes, of course, it's Utter Dark. Because of Utter Dark, Pangaea can't actually recruit anything, so he is basically fucked and reduced to, you know, using summons and all this shit. So let's say I'm talking with Garth on RSC to discuss what Pangaea is doing. If he decides to go with it, then I'm attacking Pangaea too, because it would be really a waste to let his cause wail around for any longer. I mean, it would be really stupid if we end up losing the war because Bogarus is eating Pangaea and getting stronger. So it looks like we have to eat Pangaea. Anyway, now to the most important thing. The second most important thing. First I look at my dominion. It's still going slightly upwards, which means it's slightly recovering. So at least it's not as bad as I thought it would. Thrones. Pangaea has a lot. Garth has some. Bogarus has lost some of his. I have some, but not enough. I guess then I'll have to steal some from Pangaea too, just to get a chance at winning. Of course, and now let's go back to my giant death army here. Now I have to do a lot of scripting here. Ah yes, they are puckered out, poor babies. And oh shit, research, exactly, what was I doing here? Level 8 alteration. Utter Dark, yeah, wow, a bit too late, exactly, I completely forgot. Well, we can now use Disintegrate to try to destroy really strong targets. And we are really nearly there to get Utter Dark. Sadly, I totally forgotten that I'm don't need it anymore because someone else already did it. Evocation. You already have everything here, since we're mostly deaf, and it's really hard to get those other spells, I guess. Then there is construction. Construction, we are basically dead last by now. Enchantment is also only the bare necessities. There are some interesting spells down here. What is Witchcraft? Yes, to get us an immortal necromancer instead of just one. And interesting. I need a lot of gems for this. The rest is already completed. Blood magic, well, we have 1 or 2 blood mages, but I'm not doing anything with it, so it's a waste at this point. So alteration is completely... I don't know. Maybe I should leave it at that just in case. I'm not really sure what I should do next. Volcanic eruption would be nice, but I could maybe get one caster to spell it, and I'm not sure about this. Construction would be useful, and enchantment would be useful. Everything else, not so much. Well, at least we could get Lichcraft pretty damn fast. Fields of the Dead. Not that useful. Army of the Dead. Not that useful anymore. I get it's a cheap alternative to sending horrors. Well, it is more expensive by 2 gems than Mount Fiend summoning. On the other hand, Mount Fiends aren't immortal, and I have to look this up, but even if it's just death free, an immortal Lich seems to be an interesting thing. And there's Ritual of Rebirth. Interesting. Life after death. Gives all friendly units a second chance to live. Well, the way we are trying to cast Master and Slave at each other, that's not really relevant. Nothing of this. I could make poison golems, but I need a shit ton of death golems. And Alteration 9. Other spells I could use here, except for Utter Dark. Well, no. No. In combat I could cast spells like this, but sadly not. Oh, that's a combat spell, okay. But it's only working on magical units. Would be neat to get his golem this way, but sadly it's practically overloaded with magical gear, so I don't think. Especially since magic resistance negates easily, means it's only effective against tons of magical units. Okay, then let's go for enchantment. In 2 turns we'll have level 7, and then let's say 4 turns for level 8, and then I'm going to construction, so we can finally get construction of unique magical artifacts. And that's research. Now back to the program. Enchanted Forest, I hate you. So, tons of shit here. Whites. Okay, magic resistance 14, still rather bad. That's better than fucking 4. Now, who gets those? Since they're 9, also quite bad. I give you to the Deva of Aging. Whoop. Yep, that works. 9 bodyguards should be enough. Now the hard part begins. So I'm putting her somewhere behind. And... ah, shit. Let's do it like this. Chill hour could hurt her, however, that's not really fire resistant, but not cold resistant. That could be a problem. Now I'm in trouble. There are not a lot of undead units here to protect her. Mount Fiends 15. That could be a way, but they are also... that's okay, that's a problem I haven't foreseen, that my super death mage is sadly not resisted against cold, and therefore in a little bit of trouble. Well, shit, that means I can't protect her with... oh, this is a problem. But okay then. Then we have to hope, I guess. The first spell she has to cast, therefore... Soul Vortex. I think it works against Undead too. Vortex of Unlife is Soul Vortex, just long range form. So let's cast Soul Vortex. Rigor Mortis. Then we have this spell. Do I have any sacred units? Those aren't sacred. No. Is she sacred? Yes, but I have death, got exile. Would this bring anything? More precision? Undying? Those are sacred. Could potentially be a good idea. So now first protection, then slowing down living enemies. And Divine Blessing. And Holy Avenger. Not that this brings much, maybe I should do something else instead. Well, I have 6, Undead Mastery needs 7, but it's doable. Anything else to do? Well, maybe so, creating some more skeletons. And now, at the very end, Undead Mastery. Of these, then it's basically my try to neutralize a Master and Slave by taking all my undeads back again. Of course, it doesn't work if she gets taken, but she has 26 magic resistance, and everything above 20 is highly unlikely. 26 is almost super mega unlikely, but with this game you never know. Conservative game usage should mean she isn't taking anything. Now let's get 15. It should mean anything. This is of course a problem. Let's see if I just need more gems. Let's go to 20. Still not enough. That could be a problem. That mastery needs 7 death gems. Needs 1, and of course all this casting is creating sleepiness. 25. Okay, this is a problem. Of course, this is kind of stupid. I have 6. The spell is 7, so it should work. Why doesn't it? 4, 5, 6, 7. From 6 to 7 boost should work. I hate it when the game suddenly decides to stop making sense. Let's try it with bone grinding. This works. Fatigue cost 100. Oh, 7. That's the problem. You can't cast yourself to death with 700. Even with gems, this is just not happening. I would need at least 7, just so I could use the gems to reduce fatigue. I think 400 or something fatigue is the barrier. After that you start hurting yourself and could theoretically cast yourself to death, and the game doesn't allow this. So I have a problem now. How to make them stronger. What's more? My other evil spellcaster is 6 death. The same problem. My strongest and most important spell can't be cast. Or what if I brute force it with, let's say, 30? Still nothing. Ah shit. I have to pause and think about this. Okay, I'm back. I've solved the problem and my army is now on the move. First, I have put most of my Mount Fiends into this army, so casting a nice mix of even more skeletons and protection spells. Soul Vortex basically makes it impossible for non-undead to get close to them without hurting themselves. And I come with masses of undead I have made, the Cause Constructs, who come with Overcharged, which means everyone who hits them stuns themselves, and well, they come with the problem that they never heal, so they will be slowly degraded into nothingness, and their magic resistance is ludicrously low, so they will immediately change sides as soon as Master and Slave casters attack. And there are basic normal undead, 0 protection, not much hit points, so as soon as they get hit by something they will fall apart. On the other hand, cold resistant, whenever that comes into move. Then I have tons of mages, most of them even path to death mages, but they are alive, and mixing them with stuff like this, chill, death mages, tons of undead, doesn't actually work so well. They would actually work as a raiding force alone, but since in this stupid game we have all fortresses on nearly every single province, raiding doesn't work so well. So as I have to sit this one out. Then here, 200, 400, 500, 600, 700, I can't even count how many there are. One of my super mages sadly already is at level 6 with both boosters, so he can't cast the spells I want him to cast. And I have to risk magic resistance 22 with him. But he's also incredibly hard to kill, so hopefully he won't get a visit by a horror like that other Deva I lost. And it spreads chaos and gets stronger in chaos. And chest mount. That's terrible. Now Encumbrance 8 means he won't last long, even when only spellcasting. At least he can regenerate, so minor hits shouldn't be that bad. So he gets mostly the same thing except for an Holy Avenger thrown in. So it's basically, if you hit me, I hit you with a giant death ray from space. And he ends his script with an Vortex of Unlife, which doesn't affect undead beings, but I'm just planning ahead in case there are any living creatures I could kill. Otherwise, hordes of skeletons to replenish the undead. Then there's my Deva, now renamed to 7th. I'm not getting confused. She is now down to magic resistance 22-2, just basically an anti-magic amulet thrown in because I needed a second death booster to bring her to level 7. Now she can cast the spell I wanted to cast here. Since it's still above 20, it's still highly unlikely she gets taken. I would have liked better odds, but well, what can you do? Her spell is basically just playing for time here. A Soul Vortex to protect herself, Rigor Mortis to slow down living enemies, Divine Blessing to activate our blesses everywhere, Holy Avenger, then Undead Mastery. If she can survive until turn 5, and she should, then everything will go well. She's basically standing alone there, which isn't that good, but everyone below her casts new undead, so even if I get a 1-turn Golem Master and Slave, then all those slow undead have to turn around and get back to me first time. Let's see. No, I want here. Yes. Still rather close, but not all of them will turn, I assume, so some will stay back and fight. But what if I get hit first? That's stupid, but if I make this, then there will be skeletons right next to me in turn 1, but they will only be summoned after the golem casts his spell. Of course, if he changes his orders, shit! You can really never be totally safe. I have to do this compromise. Anyway, if I get attacked instead of attacking, I get 1 turn off already. And then I just have to hope for the best. Better I put her here. This way oh, come the fuck on. But I don't want to get too close to the chill hour. Well, those guys are slow. I have an idea. I put one of the Mount Fiends, 2 I think, have a lead shield that I can't use anymore because the Skull Staffs take 2 slots. So I'll put him here. Now the undead he summons should protect him, or he should at least survive to summon more skeletons to combat the skeletons changing sides. Now, as you can see, dealing with a spell like Master and Slave costs a lot of time and thinking. Now let's hope this works, and if the golem attacks me, I can just steal all my undeads back with that spell at the last moment. Surprise! The undead can also move over there, can they? Making sure everyone moves. Yes, exactly, good. What's with this? That is not possible. It's because of the swamp. Let's get a move on. Next turn I'll start creating my second undead army. But first, plus 24, that's actually not that bad. That means I can next turn use my summoner here to call another greater deva, hopefully one with more death, so I don't have to risk her that badly. I think he's only doing this for 2 turns, so let's keep making it. So anyway, that's finally done. My first Mega Death army rolls out, and the second one is incoming. Okay, now I need more you. This and this. Now you two will create Corpsemans. So next turn a new Greater Deva, then I should have the leader for my next giant death army ready. Anyway, finally done. Holy shit. This was some stupid riddle. The fun will only begin to start if he brings out something like Rain of Stones or Earthquake, but well, you can't say make your army safe against everything. I just hope that my counter counters his counters and that he doesn't suddenly brings out the counter and I'm getting a headache. Well, I'm out of here. Until next turn, Libluini, and